I think my funniest moment was an evening. I was doing an emergency shift and I had a client come in. And the client simply came in to purchase food for her cat. And she began to talk about her cat, and the cat was very important to her, as you might imagine. And as most people, pets do become family members. But this individual was convinced that her cat would speak to her when she would come in. And it was just amusing, but it was also kind of touching because I think that this woman was lonely and this was her only companion. And she came in and she says that, every time I come home, my cat says, Carol. And so I found it very amusing, but it was one of those situations where you just couldn't laugh because you knew that she was very serious in what she was saying. I guess another story that I found very amusing was sometimes when you start out practicing veterinary medicine, you're not very sure of your ability or your skills, excuse me. And I had a young veterinarian who was practicing, and she had an emergency situation, and she was working with a technician. And when she got to the point where she was just flustered and couldn't do any more, she turns to a technician and says, somebody get a doctor. And the technician paused for a second and looked at her, and he says, you are a doctor.